Okay, so now we're in the combat tab, and as you can see here, we are assaulting. We're going up here, and I just picked a random place. There's like no rhyme or reason to this. Let's go to terrain, just so it looks cool. So we're attacking up through here, and where to go? And the first thing I want to notice here is the combat width. Now, it used to be under the vanilla that every battlefront was 10, and then after that it was 5. So if I attacked from here, that's 10. Attack from here as well, that's 15. Then if I attack from here, it's 20. And remember how I mentioned the front end? Remember that battle width? Each unit has a certain width associated with it. And so that you can only basically have so many units engaged in battle at the same time. So as you notice here, we're attacking with 5 units for a total of 19 width, and then we've got 4 units in reserve. The reason that we can only engage with this many units is currently we only have a battlefront of 18. Black Ice, I think, changed this. I don't honestly know how to kind of figure out, okay, what is the battle width before actually engaging. So right here, we pretty much had to engage before we knew what the battle width was. And then what you would just do is you would engage from another front to basically increase the width that you were attacking from. So, for example, yeah, all right. Up here are the different kind of, I guess, triggers that are currently going on in the battle, or I guess, you know, basically the modifiers. That's a correct, better term. Notice first the stacking penalty. This is really interesting too, right? Because in some strategy games you can just essentially spam your enemy and there's really no consequence. Well, in Hearts of Iron, the more you spam, the less organized your army is and the less efficient it is. And depending on the skill level of your commander, we have skill level 3, which is decent. It's average, I'd say. The higher that skill level, the more effective they are at dealing with stacking penalties. Experience. So this goes kind of experience, the number of battles your brigades have seen. Territorial pride. So if you're essentially attacking, you know, someone who's in their native lands, they're going to get a bonus to defense on that. Dig in is pretty self-explanatory. If a unit's been sitting there for a while, they're going to get a dig in bonus. River crossing, which is what we're doing, so you're going to suffer a pretty heavy penalty from that. Notice that unless you have engineering brigades that are attached to your divisions, really a river crossing is going to be worthless. Tanks can't really do crap across rivers with Black Ice, and so these really kind of are useless in terms of their attack. No, look at the penalty, minus 96.60% on the river crossing. And then also we're attacking at night, so minus 70%. And that's how you can kind of go down the line. Just look at see, hey, how my guys doing? So pretty heavy, and it's because we're mechanized, right? Mechanized and tanks. They're not going to be able to do much across the river. Armor advantage. So we do get some of the advantage because they have armored units and they don't. Then terrain. So it's I think we're attacking into the woods. Is that right? No, it's the plains. So won't be suffering any negative modifiers, but it's also at night. And then the width, which affects the number of troops you can go in there. And then notice too, currently this is the I guess the method with which your commanders decided to approach the enemy. So we were countered by an ambush. So defender damage bonus -25. He's got damage. So I don't know if that means we were able to pull off an ambush. Yeah, we have trickster, which means that sometimes we can do ambushing, which means we just surprise the enemy so they take further damage. So that's essentially how this works. This is all kind of overall modifiers, and you follow this and it kind of tells you what's going on in the battle at the time. And this will tell you again like the modifiers associated with it. If you use the terrain tab, this will oftentimes give you an idea of kind of what to expect. So notice here these are woods, so your tanks are going to suffer some handicaps from that. If you click the province that you want to invade, you're going to pass through and hover over this, it'll give you some ideas. Okay, movement cost 1.5 versus plains, which is 1.4. So it's going to take a little bit longer to go through the woods. But then your attacks are -20, but your defense is up to 0.20. Also, too, your infrastructure here, the higher it is, the quicker your troops will move through it, and also the more supply you'll be receiving. And then let's go back to this. So this is just bombing that's going on, which you can also click to watch. But you'll notice that if we were to come in from this side as well, there might be some additional modifiers going on. Flanking, you might get a flanking bonus. This might change, and then also the number of reserves that could be brought in at a given time would come up. Okay, so that's really the battle tab in a nutshell. If you guys want more detail on that, feel free to ask me. One additional thing I just wanted to highlight, and this is because I've experienced this issue pretty significantly in the past as well, is how to take out urban areas. All right, so these are cities essentially. You can tell urbans by going to the simplified terrain map model. As opposed to terrain, it's kind of hard to tell. But if you go here, you're going to find that if you try to just do one-sided frontal attack on an urban area, you're probably never going to take it, or it's going to take you 6 months or a year. Again, that's to replicate reality, right? I mean, I think Stalingrad was under siege for like 2.5 years, something like that. Maybe that was Leningrad. But battles can literally take like 6 months or a year in Hearts of Iron if you don't execute them properly. So how do you take urban environments? One, you want to include any kind of assaulting unit to basically be specific to urban warfare. So have infantry divisions that are equipped with engineer divisions and light artillery, those sort of things. So basically, able to be mobile within a city environment. But then two, you got to surround them, completely surround them, cut them off from their supply line. That way, this nice little green that you would have going on would be cut off, and so that you would just basically beat them through attrition. That's how you do it. Same thing goes for like coastal assaults. Coastal assaults are going to be bloody, painful. What you're end up going to have to do, just like say here, if I really wanted to take this province, is one, attack it from multiple angles. Two, attack it with a lot of engineer brigades that are attached to the divisions. Three, don't do it with armor, because armor is worthless. Four, involve aerial bombing as well to soften up the enemy. And then five, use commandos and paratroopers to either drop in that area along with your assaulting force, or in behind to cut them off. That's the cool thing with Black Ice, is it forces you to incorporate all those different, facets of the game to accomplish something. So again, I could go on and on about military, how to construct your military, all these different things, but I'm not going to. But feel free to message me or leave comments if you have any questions about mechanics. I'll also leave in the description some links for helpful information. And with that, once again, I as always, I thank you guys for listening. Let me know if there's anything else that you want me to see a tutorial on, any other examples that you want to see. And with that, I'll see you guys on the flip side.
He had expected his own death to be spectacular. In this one prediction, he was more mistaken than in the planning of any battle. He died of injuries received in an automobile accident 4 months after the end of the war. Place of burial among the men of the Third Army who had fallen in the Battle of the Bulge.